Hey guys, it's Chief from... Hold on a second. Hello. Do what? The NHL's still in lockout? I'm just gonna have to deal with that one, guys. So, moving on. Still in this care package I got from my brother. He picked me up 2 Super Nintendo games that he thought I'd like. First one being Miss Pac-Man. If you notice from my previous videos, I picked up a complete in-box Miss Pac-Man for only $10. So, I'll probably mail this one to my girlfriend. She's in New York. And the other one, Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Played this game a little bit. It's pretty cool, but it's still just as hard as the fucking Battletoads on the regular Nintendo. So, it's still a pain in the asshole. Oh, goodness. Moving on. I've already featured these in another episode, too, of the Pokemon episode I made, but he sent me the original Game Boys that we had when we were kids. They're both pockets. I personally like the pocket the best. It was smaller, and you know, I call the fat one the dinosaur. I always call that the dinosaur Game Boy because it was the first one. But the pockets were small. They fit in your pocket. You know, the color had the back thing out on it. I liked them. This one was mine, the red one with the Pokemon Blue in it. That's my original Pokemon Blue. I had a Clefairy sticker. I don't know why. That's kind of girly, I guess. I did like Clefable, but Clefairy wasn't one of my favorites. My brother had Snorlax on there. That's his original Pokemon Red. One of his favorite Pokemon was Snorlax. I think Clefairy, I put her on there, or it on there, because it's like the only small enough sticker that would fit. But he sent me a whole host of Game Boy games, too. So, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Hopefully we're not getting really bad glare on there. Pokemon Yellow. I never had Pokemon Yellow as a kid. This actually came from my older brother, who got that from a friend. My brother's original Pokemon Silver. In my opinion, Pokemon Gold and Silver are the best handheld games ever made. I love Pokemon. It was the game of my childhood, pretty much. And, you know, Red and Blue were cool, but when Gold and Silver came out, it was all these new Pokemon. You know, you went through the whole story mode just like Red and Blue, and then, you know, you beat the gym leaders, and then what do they do? Hey, guess what? You can go back to the world that Red and Blue was in, Kanto, or whatever it is called. I think so. I'm stretching my memory on this. And freaking get all the original Pokemon and stuff, and fight all the old gym leaders and all that stuff, and like, it was just like, damn, you could do, the world was huge. It was awesome. I really want to pick up the Soul Silver or the Dust Gold for the DS. I don't have a DS. I tried to get away from handhelds just because I was spending money on them, and I never played them enough to justify dropping the money for them. So I sold my PSP a long time ago. I had a DS, and I think I left it in Illinois. But AVP, a game I got for my birthday when I was somewhat older, maybe around 12, 13. My original Pokemon Gold. This is actually, I had this mixed in there. I have Battletoads for the Game Boy. That I bought at a local game store, and Bonk's Adventure I bought at a local game store. So I never owned those as a kid, but I did own this. This is Dragon Warrior 3 for Game Boy Color. Turok Rage Wars. The console version of this game was amazing. I wish they'd make a game like that now. If you want to find out my reasoning why, you can watch it's a reply video to Mr. Mishkins on our greatest gaming disappointments. Gex, that game blows. It's not that good. I remember playing that. He also picked me up this game, and I picked this game up by myself. So, pretty ironic. Zelda, Oracle of Seasons, and I got Oracle of Ages. So, I got both these games. These are both great games. Back when I got Zelda Link's Awakening, it's back when all these games came out. So, everybody else was getting this game while I was stuck with Link's Awakening. So, everybody was talking about these, and I had this. This game's still good, but this is what everybody had. So, I was kind of left in the dust and like the kid who didn't have the good ones. So, all three of those games are amazing, though. Bomberman for Game Boy, Tetris DX. I got another copy of Pokemon Blue. This one isn't mine. It's another one my older brother had picked up at some point in his life. And then the last one he sent me was Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town. This is probably a game I used to play just for my Harvest Moon fixes since I like that game so much when I wasn't at home able to play the console versions. And there's a memory card in here for the PS1 and an old-ass Yu-Gi-Oh! 10. But the last thing he sent me was it's not complete right now, but a Dreamcast. I think he got this from a friend, and he's just giving it to me. The cool thing about that Dreamcast, I don't have many games for it at all. Well, I do, technically. It's hacked. Yeah, and he's got a lot of games that are just written on CD with it. So, I have a hacked system now with a lot of like emulator disc on it. I've played a couple of them and they're kind of ass. They're like slow, the frame rate's off and stuff. But a lot, I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on there and that ran fine. But I found a Dreamcast game at Goodwill of all places that I'll show in another pickup video. So that's what I got. Delved into a little bit of like my childhood. Some of these games really mean a lot to me and stuff. But this was a blast from the past episode. Fuck it. You know what I meant to say. With that, hopefully you guys still got a lot of the games you played with, and like your parents didn't sell them off, or you didn't sell them off. By the time I got to middle school, high schools, when like EB games and stuff like that started getting pretty big, so I started getting into the trade and stuff. But that was also back when I got like our last generation of consoles, so I flip-flopped a lot of my PS2, GameCube, Xbox libraries a lot, but my older stuff pretty much stayed pretty central, at home with me. So I hope you guys still got some of your very first games and stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of younger than a lot of collectors out there, so what I had as a kid is a little bit more modern than people who's just like, yeah, I had a Nintendo with a whole library of stuff growing up. I was born in '88, so, by the time I was in first grade, old enough to play video games, that's when, PS1, N64 were like the stuff that I grew up with. So that's my generation. I'd like to see more of us, people my age, get into it and talk about the games they like more, because we hear it from guys that are older than me a lot, because they got to play, great games when they were kids, and we got it too, even though, I didn't grow up with a Super Nintendo. I love Super Nintendo. That's what I like to collect the most, is Super Nintendo. But it's nice for a younger generation, I think, to look down and, not saturate it so much with talking so much about the Nintendo. We all know that stuff, but let's talk about some stuff we like. And like I said, a lot of the stuff I liked when I was younger, it never came down to the games that we consider classics now. My favorite stuff when I was younger was Crash Bandicoot, man. Putting on that mask. What have I got?